Happening, lads and lassies, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing a very annoying topic which I've found out recently whilst I was scrolling through the news feed, and this is what it is. Apparently, they're now got the green light for our US Office reboot. And before everybody in the comment section goes, "Oh, but I love the US Office, it was great, it was quality," remember, as a product of its time, it's 2023 now, it's not going to be the same show. And that's what I'm severely worried about, because I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really partial to the US Office. Like, for me specifically, I'm a UK resident. I watched the UK Office. It was a bit more dry humor, and I liked that one a bit more. But don't get me wrong, it still has its place, and it's still a great show. And I did watch a few episodes. But one of the things that I am worried about is it going to be the same show for all you amazing fans out there? Because I know for me, it's not going to be. Because one, a lot of the jokes that they used to get away with, they won't get away with. Definitely not nowadays. Second of all, after the Velma show, do you want her to come back in any more of your shows? I'm sorry, I'm just putting that out there. Also, on top of that, you know, reboots in general are are horribly atrocious these days, especially most of them I've seen, like Peter Pan and Wendy. The weird Winnie the Pooh horror movie that came out of nowhere because the rights
The
became
little
public.
the Little
To,
Mermaid reboot. I'm like,
what mermaid reboot? Don't know what you're on about. That Mulan live action without the talking dragon, like the one thing that made the
yeah.
even animated movie really funny. Oh yeah, cool.
Which I'm
You know,
really still mad at and salty about. Like they should Mushu should have been in that live action Mulan movie. He was the heart and soul of Mulan. So yes,
yeah.
reboots freaking suck, man. Like
And then on top of that, like Halloween, the reboot started off well, went to crap. you know,
like the first two movies were good, but it's just like that last one.
to be fair, I kind of switched off by the second one because evil ends tonight or
Yeah.
evil dies tonight. Shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I get it, but like I'm just saying, man, I think I just like the fact that Michael was just going on a murdering spree or
Yeah,
whatever, but I get why some people don't like it. Like
yeah,
Halloween Kills is like the last Jedi of
yeah.
the Halloween
See, for me, right,
franchise.
when it comes to the US Office getting rebooted, they need to do it in a certain way for it to work. If they don't do what they did originally, it's not going to work. It's going to fail miserably. We've seen it happen multiple
Yeah,
times with other shows, man. Like Cobra Kai, for example, our favorite show, our favorite reboot of all time.
yeah,
Even that could have had issues, and a lot of us, when we first went into watching the show, we probably all had our disregard about it, going, "Oh no, what are
also,
they doing? Are they going to make it bad? Is it going to be shite?" And then we were gladly proven wrong. And ironically,
yeah,
in the last video, well, in the last live when we talked about to Drinker about this stuff, he said the same thing. It's like everybody
yeah.
had that impression that it was going to be bad because of
It's
these
gonna
things.
be a fort in a win and never gonna be remembered again or whatever. So
Yeah. See, this is what I'm going to be worried about the US Office if it does get a reboot, because it's like rebooting Skins in the UK. For my UK audience out there, if you know what Skins is, I know my main man Danny probably won't, but it's like
maybe he
trying to
was talking
reboot one of
black
those
skin.
shows. Yes. It's like trying to reboot one of those
Yeah.
shows. It's just not going to work well if you can't do the same thing. Or it's like, like look what happened with Community, for example. One of my favorite sitcoms of all time. Like I got cancelled. It got brought back by Yahoo, and it was just not the same show. The quality had dwindled. And we're still waiting on that fucking movie, by the way. I'm still waiting on that. 7 seasons in a movie that is apparently happening, but Donald Glover's apparently coming back and all that stuff as well.
I
But
was I was gonna say this though. Don't mean to cut you off, bro, but with most of these sitcoms or whatever, like most of the writers are not funny, and like comedians can't be comedians or whatever anymore. So like, do you got you when you hear the word reboot? All I just think of, and shout out to the critical drinker on this one, a modern take on what The Office should have been. Like that's all I hear. Like anytime when I hear the word reboot, like I'm like, oh no.
I swear to God, they've apparently done a Crow reboot with fucking Bill Skarsgård. I'm going to give it a chance because I know he's a great actor, but I'm sorry, The Crow is just one of these movies that you can't reboot. It's the same way, like that's the thing. Like The Office for me is a show that you just can't reboot because
Yeah,
it's had its place in time. It's like trying to reboot a lot of older sitcoms, like The King of Queens, great Kevin James like original sitcom.
yeah,
Very funny, but when I watched it on the thing that I watched it on, it's like some of the humor might be outdated, and I'm like, ah, fuck off with this shit. It's
yeah.
humor. Jokes
Or
are jokes. I get why people get offended at certain jokes and things. Just because you can be offended at them doesn't mean that they're not supposed to be jokes. Like that's the thing that really annoys me, especially when it comes to like something like The Office, where a lot of the humor was edgy and it was very, could be seen as offensive. A lot of people love the
yeah,
show for that reason. But
because
if
it
you bring
was. Yeah,
because it works. Come on, let's be honest. The most funniest comedians you've ever seen are the most could be seen as the most offensive. Dave Chappelle, George
Dave
Carlin,
Chappelle.
Billy
Yeah,
Connolly.
Ralphie May,
Ralphie
especially Ralphie
May.
May, man.
Oh, I love Ralphie
Yeah,
May.
that's yeah.
All these great comedians, there's obviously a lot more. We're not going to be sitting listing off all the great comedians, right? Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I do like it, but I just have a funny feeling it's not going to be as good. And I have a funny feeling that they're going to ruin what the show originally was. And it's going to make it a bittersweet thing for people to go back and watch it because that's what happens with reboots. Like,
Oh, I was gonna tell you this, bro. I forgot to tell you this too. Like, this is just live, and I'm about to tell you, blow your mind on this one. So, like, since we're talking about reboots, I think it's fair to say that they're like, so Saban like let Hasbro buy Power Rangers again. So they like Hasbro already said that they're not going to use the Super Sentai film anymore. They want to do a modern take on the Power Rangers, like US.
no, 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 no. Get the fuck out of here. If you do a modern take on the Power Rangers, and I swear to God, if some weird guy shows up or some weird woman with some weird quirk, and they're going to be like, look at us being all inclusive, I'm going to die because I'm sick of this shit. I'm sorry. Power Rangers was already diverse. And guess what? They didn't make a fucking big deal out of it for a fucking reason. God damn it. Yeah, maybe the color choices were a bit, at first were a
On
bit,
the nose.
yeah, a bit stupid, but at least, they fixed it later on. And guess what? It's been diverse since. There's always been different races.
Yeah, man.
God
Like when I
damn it.
found out that like they want to do a modern take on the Power Rangers once they're gonna reboot it or whatever, because and then the guy that's in charge of the projects of the Power Rangers said he never even watched the show when he grew up. So you already know where that's fit to go. Like you know where it's fit to go, right? I
Have
feel
we
bad for
learned
the new
nothing
Power Ranger
from
fans.
Star Wars? Have we learned nothing from Star Wars when people don't even know Anakin and Darth Vader are the same fucking person? I swear to God, I'm sick and tired of this fucking bill crap. I'm sorry, I do not want fucking, like, fucking. My brain. This is just as bad as The Office, man. Like, seriously, can we stop the reboots? But anyway, before I end up getting myself cancelled, let's get going because I don't want to be cancelled for saying something a bit. Fuck it. Oh my God. Anyway, uh, I have been Kane and Rob. That's been MMA King Priest Jr., and we are not watching your new fucking reboots.